pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Jason Shacko. He has taught at Lakeland for 6 years in our English department. He was recently named as a Teacher of the Year candidate by Channel 57 and has been one of our leading edge teachers for 4 years. In addition to his work at Lakeland, this past year, he and 24 other teachers from around the country worked on a national project development team with Stanford University and the New Tech Network. At the end of this month, he will be recognized as a PBL certified teacher by State Superintendent Glenda Ritz, along with 14 other Indiana teachers. He has taught and learned with and from this class and will continue to be an advocate for the very best possible education we can provide every Lakeland student. It is fitting that the class of 2013 has asked for his words of wisdom on their special day. Please welcome Mr. Shacko.
Thank you, Mrs. Merkel, for that wonderful introduction, most of which I did not. I'd also like to thank all of you for choosing me for this honor. I am deeply humbled and flattered that you wanted to include me on such a special day in your life. I could not be more proud of this class and all of your accomplishments. We started on this journey of reshaping education together, and I stand before you today with a true conflict of emotions. I am both saddened to see you leaving us all, but I'm also extremely excited to see what the next chapter in your life has in store. Whenever I get like this, I reach for a story. And as I was writing this speech, I thought of the story of us and of this school. 4 years ago, I stood in front of half of you in Miss Morell's room on the first day of school and talked about how different education was going to look for you. And with your help, we were going to change how school looked, sounded, and worked. When I look back at that day, I feel like it was a lifetime ago. I feel like my life in education has been split into 2 distinct sections: before I met this class and after. When I spoke to you that day, I thought I was talking to you about how things were going to look differently for you as students. I had no idea how differently things were going to look for me, both personally and professionally. Before I met this class of students, teaching was something I did because it allowed me to coach, and it connected me with a time in my life that I loved. I tried to connect to students where I could, but at the end of the day, it was a job. But after I met this group of students, I woke every day with a passion to excel, to make every day of school better and more meaningful, because just as I expected you to grow and mature, you expected the same from me. I saw flashes of the exceptional in you, and I knew I had something that was worth more than a paycheck. I had a job with a purpose. During the summer before your sophomore year, I read 2 books. One was new and one was old, and I want to share their message with you today because they contain my hopes for you as graduates. The first book I bought that summer was called Water the Bamboo. This book talks about the giant timber bamboo. And what makes it special is it can grow 90 feet in a matter of 60 days once it breaks through the ground. While the rapid growth was really cool, what was more amazing to me was the next sentence I read out of that book. Giant timber bamboo doesn't crack the surface until 3 years after it's planted. So these bamboo farmers plant their seeds, work the ground, and water the crop for 3 entire years without knowing if their work is paying off. I instantly grew a deep respect for that profession as I read those words. And I asked myself the question posed by the author of that book. Is there anything in your life that you care passionately about, that you would spend day and night working on it without seeing any results for 3 years? My answer was yes. And the thoughts in my head that day are sitting in caps and gowns in front of me right now. I vowed as I read that book that I would not let anything deter me from seeing you crack the surface. In order to make that promise come true, though, I needed to read another book, quite often over the last 3 years. It's a simple, unassuming book, much like the man that gave it to me the day I wanted to quit teaching. It's called Keep Going, and it gives advice about the art of perseverance. This book is summed up nicely in a short passage I want to read for you right now. In life, there is sadness as well as joy, losing as well as winning, falling as well as standing, hunger as well as plenty, and badness as well as goodness. I do not say this to you to make you despair, but to teach you reality. Life is a journey, sometimes walked in light and sometimes in shadow. You did not ask to be born, but here you are. You have weakness in you as well as strength. Within you is the heart to feel compassion, as well as the smallness to be arrogant. Within you is the way to life, as well as the fear to turn away from it. Life can give you strength. Strength can come from facing the storms of life. You must stand up to the storm. You must face the wind and the cold and the darkness. For when the storm blows hard, you must stand firm. For it's not trying to knock you down. It's trying to teach you how to be strong. Being strong means taking one more step toward the top of the hill, no matter how weary you may be. For each step, no matter how difficult, is one step closer to the top of the hill. Even the weakest step toward that summit is still fiercer than the strongest. It's still stronger than the fiercest storm. So keep going. Now, I share these anecdotes with you not to tell you the world is a scary place ready to knock you down. I share them with you because at some point in your journey you're going to face adversity. You are going to have two choices: wilt and become a victim, or persevere and become something exceptional. You see, the difference between good people and exceptional people in this world is one simple choice. Do I take the path that says the world's out to get me, let my grievances pile up and become bitter and old? Or do you handle the conditions and take one more step? Because that next step may be all that matters. So, in conclusion, my last project for you, this is probably my favorite one I've ever rolled out, is in the next chapter of your life, do not find a job. Find a passion. Find a passion that will wake you up every morning and make you feel alive. Never let anyone tell you that the dream you have is too big. For as the Renaissance artist Michelangelo said, the greatest danger for most of us is not that we aim too high and miss, but that we aim too low and make it. So pick a goal and set it on the highest hill you can imagine, and keep taking steps until you reach it. Thank you.